Hey everybody, welcome to another Sunday Night Live. And you're wondering where Rebecca is. She's on her way home from supporting friends of hers that were doing an audition for something called the 610 Stompers. So she didn't know she was going to make it. And lo and behold, our third head tonight was going to be Dwayne anyway. So now he became my co-host.
Hello, y'all.
And speaking of co-hosts, he is going to become my co-host starting this Wednesday night on the R Show. So, everybody that wanted him to have his own show or do his own videos, get his opinions on Wednesday nights.
I don't know about my opinions. We'll see.
Well, I'm sure when we have a topic.
Yeah, that's true. There's always a topic. That's good.
Especially when we try to do it in the teaching. That's one of the things that. And as you can see, it said 150. What? Because this is my 150th video.
Yeah, everybody needs to give him a hand, you know?
I realize there's a lot of people like Chad and Ronnie and everybody else out there that have hundreds and thousands of videos. But I didn't expect to necessarily keep going this long, for one thing. With everything, all the changes that went on with, first of all, my computer crashing way back when I first started. And then having a change with people like Sean Cool Toes leaving, Kristen leaving, changing nights, then making a second show out of the air.
I have noticed something, Chris. The people that are your co-hosts, like, all of a sudden disappear after a little time, you know? Like Chris Nice. I haven't seen him for ages. What did you do? And should I be afraid?
I didn't do anything. He got a hold of me and said that there were certain personal issues that him and his wife had to talk about, and they couldn't do the shows anymore. So
no, I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Well, that's the way it is. Most of the co-hosts have personal issues or whatever that they just don't want to be on the show anymore for whatever reason, or they give up reselling or whatever.
Sure.
I'm not going to hold somebody, like, say in a couple weeks you say, Chris, I can't handle it. I'm not going to hold you to the contract. We didn't sign nothing.
Wait a minute. I'm not getting paid? Where's my contract? Gosh.
Speaking of Kristen, there she is in the chat. Miss Cool Finds.
Oh, okay. There you go. See, should we give out a couple hollers?
Sure.
Yeah,
While you do that, I'm going to pop out the chat so that way I can get an easier.
Okay. Tanya, Thrifty Treasure, Swamp Picker, how are you? The Crazy Card. I don't know your real name. What's your real name?
I know his real name, but I don't know if he wants to say that.
Well, if you want to tell us, you don't have to, of course. Let's see. Amelia, Miss Cool Finds, how are you tonight? Fuel for the Light. I think that's everybody that I saw. Did I miss somebody? Oh, there's some more coming in. Thomas Francis, Mary Findley, how are you?
And
Mike. Okay, the Crazy Card is Mike.
Yep.
Well, how are you, Mike?
And I see we got about 15 watchers so far. So, and I don't know if a certain person's watching. She said they were going to possibly watch. So, and I told her this was more of a freewheeling type of show, not like my Wednesday night shows, as most people know. Or more, what's the word I'm looking for? Centralized on Wednesday nights.
Right. More kind of a free-for-all group discussion.
Yep. And part of that, the ironic thing is that came out of her talking about not watching too many videos because of why certain people just talk in their videos. They don't get to their point. And that was based on my poll that I did in the Reseller Society, which you saw I had.
She says, yep, I'm here. Fueling for the Light. Maybe that's who it is.
Yep. Okay, then that's Trixie. And she says to impress her, so.
Oh, man, I don't know about that. We can try, but.
Well, hopefully, Trixie, you realize that we're on most of these shows, we're trying to be ourselves and everything else, and we try to talk about different, like on this show, we bring in topics from the show. Like I was just talking about the poll that I did in the group, how certain people say yes, and then the other people were arguing about this, that, the other thing, on what we as YouTubers do to the community and or the price of items. So,
and for those who have listened or some that haven't, little house cleaning. If you're going to ask a question in the chat, just preface it with a couple of question marks so it catches our attention. Not like we have a bazillion watchers, but we do want to make sure we get any questions that you guys have answered as best we can. So yeah, just preface it with a couple of question marks so that we know that it's a question that you want answered.
Well, I'll ask you, Dwayne, since I know you answered no on my poll, but what are your thoughts on the people that blame YouTubers?
What do I think about YouTubers in general and how they've affected the marketplace?
Considering you watch how many live shows a week?
Oh, probably. I don't want to admit to that. I mean, probably more than I should. I should be working my butt off. But, you know, I think as a reseller, the YouTube it's a family. You know, the people that I listen to a lot, and I feel like I really know these people. Some of them I've actually met in person. Some of them I just know by reputation or have, you know, been watching them long enough. And I think we share a lot of information. I think it's really good for the reselling community as a whole. And I think that people that don't believe that it helps are those that are trying to keep their, you know, their niches quiet. And that's fine. If you want a niche that doesn't, you know, you don't want to talk about or something because you don't want to strike up the competition, that's great. But for most of the time, you know, a lot of the times it's not even about a specific market. It's about, you know, how we do things, how our businesses are run, how we stay motivated, how we do shipping, you know, and these things can always help people of all the different niches. So sometimes it's a niche market show and they give away some, I guess, some of their secrets, but in reality, it's a huge place. I mean, the United States is a big place. And of course, that's because there's more than just us. But what I'm saying is the reseller community, I mean, there's 10,000 of us, 15,000 of us out of 300 million. You know, I mean, I don't think it really affects the competition all that much. That's just me, though.
Well,
I don't mind sharing.
We have a question here from Swamp Picker who says, how big is your ship? They can use it there.
Well, unfortunately, Swamp, I live in a desert, so my ship is truly not a ship. I wouldn't mind hearing that, though, how you guys are doing down there in the South, because that's, you know, we have friends that are down there. Obviously, you are down there, and Rebecca's down there. There's a couple other people that are down that way. How are you guys doing? You guys okay? I mean, do you need anything? I know you're flooding, but I mean, do you need any help or anything? Anything we can do for you?
And while he's responding to that, I'm going to say I learned a lot of stuff before I started. Like I said in the post, my own post, I said I think it was Trixie. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but that's already kicking in my head, that I started watching before I even started doing the show. I was already watching for at least good 3 years before I decided I'm going to start doing videos, and then I talked Sean into doing the show.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I really went full circle. I was a watcher and a commentator under my real name. Then I started saying, okay, I want to get in on this little, not for money, whatever, or for fame, or just so I can give out my point of view.
Sure.
Instead of just doing it in the group, because when you're saying something in the chat, it doesn't stay in the chat when you're doing a live show. So unless you watch the video later and then comment so other people can see it, it's not really being helpful then. Because certain shows don't get that many views afterwards, whether it be for their titles or not having enough viewership and followers. But you figure when we have, like in my case, I have 1,200 subs. So I'm happy when I get 100 and something views within a week. That means I got a tenth of my subs to always watch a video each week. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that is the, you know, the great thing is you can, if you know, before you start, you can always go look things up. I had already been reselling when I found the community. I'll make it sound like a cult, don't I? The community. Ooh. Anyway, and I was just looking for some, you know, some more on doing what I had already been doing, and I realized, wow, there's a lot more out here than what I had really expected. You know, I've been reselling since about 2012. I'm a part-time reseller. I don't do it full time, but it is very nice to have that second income come in to take care of a lot of the other things that the real job doesn't take care of. So when I started, I got into I was doing clothing mostly and some other things like that, and I just started looking up on YouTube. I'm thinking, you know, somebody else has got to be doing this, and I originally was doing storage auctions. So I got on to a couple like Glendon Cameron and stuff like that, where he was talking about storage auctions and different outlets, and just by listening to him, he would say another name, and then I'd go look up that person, and then they would say another name, and it just networked out from there. And now, you know, I have such a network of people. If I have a question about anything, I know somebody that knows something about it, or at least somebody that knows
somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's any question I have about reselling, I know that somebody in this tight-knit community can you know, can answer my questions. And I've learned so much from every you know, not every single person, but I would say the majority of the people that I talk with, you know, Chris, Tanya, Chad, Ronnie, you know, there's just so many out there that I've learned, even if it's just one little thing that's really helped my business.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you were talking about the spreading of finding somebody else when you don't know something, there's a lot of times I'll say, if I don't know the person, I will point you either in the right position, or I will find the person for you.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time, it doesn't matter if you know the answer, as long as you know where to find the answer. That's the important part.
Let's see. See if there's any questions. I'm not seeing any questions, but Mike Warren made a comment. Chris, now you are a superstar. Nah, I don't consider myself a superstar yet. But
he's getting there. You know, we're at 23 watchers. If we can get that to like 50, then, you know, that's superstar status there.
Well, I was a superstar when I first started, and I went down to a star.
Oh, took a couple of steps down.
From the A list to the C list.
So, yeah. So yeah, I mean, back to your question. For the most part, if you're part of the community, I feel it's definitely helpful, and if you're not, you know, that's your own choice, because some people really, you know, like to keep themselves segregated, or don't, you know, they're worried about the competition. So, and me and Chris were talking earlier, he doesn't even have anybody to go thrifting with in his town, and neither do I. So it's kind of like, this is my market. Nobody really can mess with it, which I'm sure there's some out there that, but for the most part, none that are in, you know, the regular group. So
well, that's the funny thing. There are some that are in the group, in my group. I did make a local group, like I told you.
Right, but sure.
Still, even then, I said, okay, who wants to meet up? Nobody, like the certain people that were in the town, didn't even answer. It's like, I did the group thinking I wanted to get the groups going. I wanted to have kind of like what everybody else does when they go to the conferences and have their little trip. Even if I don't have the money, maybe I can point out, okay, get this pattern. Even though I may not have all the knowledge that most people that, of the bigger names people have, I still want to pass on what I do know, because I've been helped, so I want to help everybody else.
Right. Sure. And like you said, that's really what it's all about, is constantly learning. And everybody here that I know of, I can't think of anybody that I can't ask a question and they'll give me the honest answer about it. You know, I think this group really tries to help each other out.
Okay, fueling. Oh, that's the one you're going to read. I don't know if you're going to. I saw you get ready to read something.
Oh, do you want me to read it?
But
okay,
sure.
so Fueling for the Light said, I'm constantly learning. Really appreciate all the people who share their knowledge. I'm getting more active in the groups and hope to give a little back. We all have knowledge in some area to share. That's absolutely right. I've said it a couple of times in different places that you don't even know what it is that you have that you can share. It could be something as simple as the way you package something or the way you store your inventory. I've had a couple of people that have given me great ideas on how to store my inventory. And it was just one little thing that they had said, off the beaten path. It wasn't even the main reason that what they were talking about. So, but
I see Drew showed up. Hey there, Drew.
Oh, yep, there's Drew.
I mean, I know you were there for a couple weeks ago when we had our Is It Rare? Not that we're changing the subject. I'm just saying a lot of people really went back and forth on that. That's part of what these shows are. If you find the right topic to talk about, that helps everybody learn and get your own explanation. Because you're not going to get kicked out of a group because you disagree with somebody. Unless it's really major disagreement where you're calling out somebody or something like that.
Right. The only way you're going to get kicked out is if you become belligerent to the point that you're a threat to somebody or something like that. I mean, having a disagreement or a difference of opinion. I mean, that's how we all learn.
Exactly. That's why when on the post somebody asked if I would kick anybody out, that said yes, and I said no, because if we didn't all thought the same way, what's the sense of being there? We wouldn't learn anything different.
Right. If we all had the same exact business plan, that'd be pretty boring, wouldn't it? I mean, we'd all be selling the exact same thing to the exact same people. There's so many different models out there to, everybody makes their own.
Now, I know you had a topic you wanted to talk about tonight, and I said we could save it for Wednesday, but it's kind of along the same lines that we're talking about because you just said, without anybody being there for you or anybody being here for me, the group and the shows help you get motivated, hopefully, to work.
Agreed. Yeah. I being a part-time reseller, that I don't know, it kind of makes it there's a couple of different it's a positive and negative for me, of course, but when you're a full-time reseller, you have to do that to make your bills, whereas I do not have to do this to make my bills. Of course it helps my status in living and my quality of life, but it's not something I have to do in order for my family to eat. And unfortunately, sometimes in my case, I just lose ambition. I just think, I don't want to do this right now. I don't know why, I lose inspiration. I think, man, I just don't feel like listening. The buying's easy and all that. Doing the inventory is pretty easy, but the listing, it's like, I just don't want to do it. And it's so being part-time, I have that escape, that out, which unfortunately for me, I need to get rid of that out. Because I get to the point a lot of times where I get in a rut and I just don't want to do it. And I honestly think sometimes, maybe I should just quit reselling for a while. Of course, my wife would kill me because I have all this stuff here that she'd want me to get rid of. But, and I need to find other ways to get that inspiration, that ambition back, and watching the videos definitely helps. And I'll tell you the best thing for me is sales. If I hear that cha-ching, that gets me motivated. And unfortunately, in the summer, that's kind of slow. And that's why I think my motivation kind of drops off for sure, because I don't hear that cha-ching enough. So, and what about you, Chris?
Well, I know I go for the sales, and most people I know chicks doesn't know, and I know there might be some other new watchers that don't know that besides my own disability that I go through, I have my wife's issues that go on. So that's why when I do the weekly, like I did the weekly poll for the listings for this week, I always pick 1 to 10 because unless I have drafts already set up, I don't know if I'm going to get anything, doing anything up. So just
Right.
by keep concentrating on that. Even if I get, like you said, if I get one up, I at least got my goal because I got the one. Sure, I'd like to get one, at least one up a day, but life gets in the way. So, but we've had agreed that we're going to both kind of hold each other accountable starting Wednesday or this week.
Yeah. Yeah, I better get on it because I'll probably forget between now and then.
Well,
Have
that's
to find something
you're
to
just gonna ask Wednesday how many did you get listed, and then you'll be like, none. And I'll say, well, you got this many days until Sunday.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So, what about people in the chat? What do you? I mean, what is it? What helps you guys stay motivated?
Well, Tanya says, right, paying your bills is great motivation for you, for sure.
Right, right.
And
What about you, Drew? What keeps you going? What keeps you? I know you do a lot of higher end artwork, right? Or maybe not higher end, but just more artsy kind of stuff. So what keeps you in the game? Addicted to the hunt. That's good.
Kelly Earl, I have an reaction from you.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm hearing a echo.
Oh, you are? Just, huh?
I think if when you see, I don't know if it's when you push your laptop or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it really bad echo or no?
I don't know what it is. I just barely hear it. I'm talking, I hear myself saying it.
Huh. All right, let's see. What do we got? What else? People saying.
Well, I'm going to read Kathy Earl's comment.
Oh, that's okay.
I have been eBay reselling since 2001 on and off. Until a year ago, I never knew there was Facebook groups or YouTube videos. Since then, I never watched TV. I just watched videos.
And that's good and bad. Like I said, I spend a lot more time watching videos than I do listing. So sometimes it gets information overload. But at least it's good that you found people of your ilk. Let's see. Get a lot done during these chats. Oh, that's good. Great.
Dixie, you want to know what state we're from? Well, I'm from Colorado, and you're north of me.
We hear it from Chris. Huh. Oh, which I'm from Utah, so let's see. Oh, Cherry, what keeps her motivated? The hunting for treasure is part of your DNA. I can't hunt if I don't sell because that would make me a hoarder, not a successful business person. Well, that's for sure. I think we're all a little bit of a hoarder. I mean, I bet there's probably very few people that have absolutely no backstock, that buy and list the same day. I mean, that is great if you can, but I would say that I would guess that 95, 98% have some backstock that they've bought and haven't quite got listed yet.
And if they're able to do it and they want to stick to that 5 items a day or whatever, then they go out, get those 5 items one day, list it, the next day go out again. So
yeah, there's not many people that do that though.
Exactly. You start seeing all the good deals, you're not going to pass. You don't want to pass them up, so you're going to end up.
Right. Being a single. Amelia says, I start out with the best intentions to list, but being a single mother, other things come up or problems that take over my day. These chats do help. Well, great. I'm glad that these do help. And I can understand being easily distracted is, it's distracting.
Especially being a mother of kids. I mean, young kids need their mother's attention too, so it's not like they can set them down somewhere in front of a TV. You don't want to do that either. You want them to have their time and learn from you. Because what you should do, Amelia, if I can suggest it, and maybe Dwayne can answer, go back with this too, is have the kids help you.
Oh, if that would be so great if my kids were that helpful. But they're not.
I don't know how old her kids are, but I'm saying it's like find stuff that they like and say, okay, help mommy do this. And
right. Yeah, no, I agree. Being able to have somebody help, you know, out of your family would probably definitely help. My kids are older. I have a 23-year-old that's married, an 18-year-old and a 16-year-old, an 18-year-old daughter and a 16-year-old son, and they have no interest in reselling whatsoever. So the only thing I can get my son to do is if I sell something, he'll go out into the garage and get it out of my inventory system and bring it to me so I can ship it. So, but
let's see, Terry Minchis also said, I have backstock on purpose. Sage for the winter. In the winter, I rarely buy, but I meant hoarding that is different than, well, stored stock.
That's true. That's definitely true. Yeah, doing it on purpose, that's good business sense. It's when you buy way more than you can handle and it sits in a room and you forget what you bought, or you bought it for you, which that happens quite a bit too. You'll find something that, oh, I like that. But that's
Trixie and Amelia said that, well, Trixie said that she's trying to get her 17-year-old involved and he's being resistant. And Amelia said that her kids are not interested.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, I know some people that have kids that have done it, you know, taken over the reins of a portion of the business. I tried to do that with my son. I said, here, go and here, just do ties. You know, it's one thing you look at. You go to the thrift store. Here's a handful of names to look at, and just, you know, whatever you find, I'll give you $20 to start, and whatever you go from there, you reinvest in the business and go. And you know, they did it once or twice, but after that, he was like, well, no thanks.
Well, Amelia, Trixie, find something that your 17-year-old's into that he likes to collect something. Tell him in order to collect it, he has to sell something that else of his that he doesn't want. And then maybe that will start getting the ball rolling because he'll say, wait, I want to get rid of what I don't use anymore to get what I want. And then eventually when he dies out of that, okay, I know people that will buy that from me.
Sure. If it was only that easy, Chris, if kids only listened to everything that their parents said. But yeah, and hopefully my kids have picked up some of the business sense, if nothing else, just by seeing how I deal with customers and seeing the stress that different aspects of the business have caused, and decide, oh, well, that makes sense. What can I do in my life to make it so I don't have to deal with that? Or my daughter has said that when I deal with customers, that because I deal with them nicely, she's learned a little bit about, you can completely hate somebody, but all you have to do is treat them nicely and do good customer service, and you won't have to deal with them again. So Dixie Girl 999 said, oh, yep, there you go. Walking Picker just put in. Walking Picker's from Colorado, and I'm from Utah.
And that's the second time she asked. That's why I was putting it typed in it because I don't think she heard us the first time. That's right. So yeah, we try getting our daughter. I say our daughter because even though she was 13 when I met her, I considered my wife's daughter my daughter because of the way her father treated her. We tried getting her to come with us to yard sales and this and that, and she just never got into it. But yet she liked the idea of what we could find on certain wholesale sites for cheaper than at the regular store. And we're like, well, if you help us, we can get you this. And instead, it didn't work. But now she works for PetSmart. Get that. She didn't want to do retail with us, but she's doing it for a big name store.
Yeah, but it's a lot different when she's working for somebody else. She doesn't have to think about backstock and customer service other than what's right in front of her, the people in front of her. And, some people just aren't cut out to be business owners. They really aren't. I found out that that I have a few friends that I have a friend that's a great cabinet maker. He makes beautiful cabinetry. And he went out on his own. And he was a horrible businessman. and he could not make money because he was not good at it. So he went back to working for somebody and making beautiful cabinetry again. He just wasn't cut out to be a business person or business owner. He was much better at his art than running a business or being an entrepreneur, because not only do you have to know your art and or what you're doing, but you have to have business sense and customer service and ambition and inspiration. I mean, there's just a lot more to it when you own your own business.
Sherry Vincent says some teens rather work for minimum wage at McDonald's, etc., because they're away from being supervised by parents. They can just blow it off, and also socially they can be with other teens.
Absolutely. That's, at that age, those are steps that they have to take to see where they fit into the universe, so to speak. They have to step out and say, oh, wow, this is uncomfortable. Let me go back to where I was. Or now I see what they were talking about with, dealing with the public, or, all kinds of stuff like that.
Okay, Drew made a comment that I want to address. He says, we could never do this before without eBay. Yes, you could have, because there's a lot of people that are doing it, or doing it before 1995 when the eBay came around. You had their yard sales on the flea markets. You had the newspapers that of people selling stuff. You may not have gotten the whole national reach of areas, but you still had something to do. You may not be able to get the same amount of money, but then that's where some people get hurt with their regional money, because one popular in region, they may not get as much now because they go on eBay and get it for cheaper if they found somewhere else.
Sure. And Sherry basically, said wait until they get a little older and realize basically how shitty it is. Excuse the language, but yeah. And they have to learn. A lot of people have to learn that for themselves. They can't be. You can't tell, especially a teenager. You can't tell them anything. They have to learn it themselves. I swear to God, because sometimes you tell them the most logical, obvious thing, and they don't believe you until they go out and screw it up, and then they're, oh, now I know what you're talking about. And I think that's just parenting 101. Just letting them make their own mistakes before they start making the big mistakes, making sure that your kids know how to make decisions before they have to make the ones that count.
Yeah, exactly. She says you gotta allow them to have their teen experiences.
Absolutely. I'll be right back. I gotta shut a door.
Okay. Like I will say, in my teens, my dad did not want me to do his job. He wanted me to, when I was in school, wanted me to be an accountant. Well, that didn't work out because when I was 17, both my parents passed away. So that kind of went, I wasn't thinking the way they were, and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I got into different things. I wanted to help kids with disabilities. That didn't work out either when I was in college. So it's all different things. Reselling just happened to be where I'm trying to build into now, because I know I need extra money. I don't want to survive on what I'm getting. I need to build up, and that's what I'm working on.
Well, and I think one of the good things about being a reseller is you can do it at any time. You can have your day job and be making all the money you need, and know that you have a couple extra things in your basement or something, and sell them. It's not something you have to. I mean, when it becomes part of your life and more of a business, yes. But I mean, you can always start out as a hobby, which is, how many businesses can you really start out as a hobby making money, and then turn it into a business making decent money? Every hobby, my wife will tell you, every hobby I've ever had costs money. This is the first one that I'm actually, at least it's paying for itself. Usually everything else I've ever done, somehow I've spent money out of the budget, where this is actually putting money into the budget. So.
And I was going to say, we're fueling Trixie and Amelia. Terry made a good point about the teenagers, 14-year-olds how to do it on eBay. But what I was saying, martial arts, he's only 14, he's only 14, and he's making a killing doing video games.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes him thinking about video games or whatever they like, learn from doing that, and like branch out to us, the older folks.
Sure, yeah, there are kids making it work, and I mean, I think that's great. Being able to start young, that's one of the things that I wish, probably, I would guess that most pickers, most resellers wish they would have started earlier, because everybody has the same problem, and that's time. We're all relegated to that. So,
and Mike Warren said, Crazy Picker Life is another one to watch because his 17-year-old son, who's been working with him forever, plus now he got Banana Peeler. That's what I think he said 10 or something like that during Chad's show. That's working with him too.
Yeah, I don't think I saw that show, but I do know about those guys that they work together as a family, if I remember right, and make it work, and that's great. I wish them the best. I wish that my family could be more involved, or would be, but at this point they're not. So, and someday maybe they will. Maybe they'll come around and realize. But the other good thing about my kids is that they're always looking for good deals for me. I have my son, he sets up conventions, and one of the conventions that he just set up had Dr. Dre Beats was one of the exhibitors, and they left and they gave them 60 Dr. Beats headphones, brand new, from them. They just left them because they were hanging out, and they moved on to the next place and left those back behind. And my son, he picked them up, and they waited 90 days to make sure everything was legal and everything. And I threw money on Amazon, and between me and my son, we split the money, and we're doing well. It's great to have another set of eyes out there looking. So
yeah, it is, especially when you go out with another person. Okay, I'm sitting so far away, I still hear the reaction and echo.
We still have an echo?
Yeah, and I'm sitting far away from my camera, further than normal.
I'm quite a ways too. Huh.
Somebody said I need a mic, but that's what this camera is for the mic. I don't know what's.
Wow. Well, you're just going to have to listen to me twice then. If we can't figure it out.
I know there's one other topic I might hit on tonight. I can't remember it right now. Oh, yeah.
He says he needs a mic. Maybe he's talking about me. Huh.
Chicago Sound Hunter. That's what I said. What's up, Walker Baker? Glad the show's on. Need to phase out a little bit. Must have had a rough day.
Cool. What else? Come on, guys, in the chat. Let's hear some questions.
Yeah. Hopefully, you have some questions. I'm trying to think of what my other topic was for tonight, and I can't think of it right now because usually when Rebecca's here, like I told Dwayne, I have a topic for about 15, half hour or so, and Rebecca has a topic, so that's what I'm trying to do here. But unless we have more than one topic,
right? Well, we kind of had two topics. We had what. Well, let me ask again. I know I got some answers, but what do you guys do to keep in the business? What keep motivated? What do you do, Chris? What keeps you motivated? Just watching the YouTube, or what?
Well,
when you have days you're just like, damn, I just want to quit. What is it that brings you back into the game?
Well, like the wife says it than I do. Because she feels that it's not working all the time. And then when we get, like you said, when we get to Ching, all of a sudden, okay, we gotta get more listed. And it's like, so she knows that it works when we get the right items up. So right now, I admit I'm preparing for the fourth quarter, hoping with all my patterns and whatever else I'm throwing up will sell in the fourth quarter to get them out of the house. If they sell before then, great. But I'm not going to necessarily worry too much during the summer for right now, because yes, I do have that income, whatever assist that I have, but I don't want it. So when next summer comes around, when it starts growing, I got to figure out ways to work for the summer, but I'm still listing things anyway.
So Chicago Crown Hustler basically said that's the money that, you know, building his PayPal account's what keeps him motivated. And then Dixie Girl 999 said trying to pay off bills. Not living the struggle motivates the leisure picker. So everybody, that makes sense for most. Fear of starvation. Ouch. Yeah, that's a motivator right there. So I guess I've been going through a rut, and I just I'm trying to get back into game, and I just haven't found my groove yet. So I'll get there though.
Well, I think I got another topic for you. A question for you. What were your thoughts when I actually asked you to be a co-host for Wednesday nights?
Well, first I asked you, why me? I couldn't figure out, you know, I mean, was I third or fourth or fifth on the list or what, you know? I was, you know, I was intrigued, of course. I flattered. I don't know that I have a whole lot to offer, but what I do, you know, I'm willing to offer anything that I can. I've been, you know, listening quite a bit. I don't have my own YouTube channel, but a couple of people have said that I should. And I just kind of feel like I would be regurgitating what everybody else has already said, you know, just because that's where I learned it, you know. So it's kind of like, well, if I learned it on YouTube, well, you can too, you know.
But there's different ways of putting it. You might be able to tell it to somebody else differently where they can pick it up than, say, Chad, or maybe we always joke around. Look at the difference in the viewers. I know it's because of the personalities myself, but with Chad, he had 100 something a night. Each week, I get 30 and whatever. So, and I'm happy with that. And I still say some of the same things he does.
That's true. That's true. And a lot of it is just point of fact and opinion and regurgitation of everybody else's stuff. So it's just you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll start a channel. I don't know. Right now I'm just gonna hang out with Chris on Wednesday nights and see how things go that way. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Mr. Sir, Chicago Crown Hustler. Really? I'm a sir?
Your real name is Dwayne.
I know. Okay. I'm Mothership Products. My name is Dwayne. So glad to meet you. I don't know your name either. Just Chicago Crown Hustler. So.
Yeah, I'm turning down my mic, my speaker, so I don't know.
Right, and my mic is way over there, so, huh. So strange. I'm sure it's me because I'm a rookie.
It didn't work, so because the mic.
Maybe I'll have to work on getting a decent mic or something for later. So, well, I will, Cherry. I'll get back in the game. Damn it! It's always the best time of the year, that's for sure. So, what made you start doing videos? I know you kind of said you wanted to share back, but I mean, what made you take that step, Chris?
Honestly, I don't know. I just wanted, it's like the shows, and certain people say, well, why don't you come on the show? Like, they wanted because like me, they wanted new people. They wanted the loyal watchers to come on every once in a while. Let people know who they are. So it's like, and then I started hanging, and I started doing our show on Sunday nights with with Quilden Miss Coupons, and then I started going on the Toadcast and stuff like that. And it slowly got away from doing the soul videos or the hangout. I asked, call videos. I just want to give out the information. I want to give to people that I learned from another platform for people that may not already know them.
Right. Well, and then that's a great reason is to pass on that information that you've already heard. So.
We got a question from Glenn. He said, "Have we ever had to cancel our due to a natural disaster?" He had to cancel 5 of them.
Ooh.
I haven't had.
No, nothing cool ever happens here. We don't flood. We don't have tornadoes. Yeah, it's pretty boring in Utah. So, unfortunately, well, I guess that's a good thing. We do get fires, but no, I've never had to cancel an order due to that. And I wonder if eBay would have a something to help people out that do have natural disasters to not just damage their account because of it. I mean, I would probably call in once you get more situated, once things settle down, and explain to them about the natural disaster and see if they could help you with some of those dings on your reputation, so to speak, because you don't, it's something that you had no control over.
And I'm sure they probably already know about it.
Sure, but who knows?
I think they're still saying it's me that I always have echoes, but it's the worst I've heard it.
Well, it's got to be me then.
They say it's me because when I talk. He says he called today, so I don't know what eBay told him.
Well, hey, here's a question. I'm going to mute you on my computer and see if that makes a difference. So go ahead on without me and see if there's an echo.
Yeah, I'm not hearing an echo yet. So it must probably me because I'm not hearing an echo now.
Did it still echo?
No, not when I was just talking.
Well, yeah, that's because I turned it back on. So obviously it's me. I will resolve that somehow. I'll have to figure out something before Wednesday.
And let's see, Berta Bell just showed up. So hello there, Berta. You can replay some of the show, but
hey, we made it to 30.
Wednesday night, starting this week. The way is going to be my co-host. So we have to work on getting a guest together for this Wednesday, and he wants to help me get back to where I was when I was with Sean. Not necessarily number-wise, but when I used to have 4 or 5 guests lined up in a month ahead of time. So I knew what was coming up, and I can announce it and promote it and everything else like a good host would do.
Well, and if anybody in the chat wants to ever come on and discuss something to them, get a hold of Chris or I. Probably Chris would be a better option, and maybe we can schedule you. I'm sure there's again, like everybody else, there's stuff that you guys know that we don't, and probably be glad to hear from you.
Well, I know Terry has Thomas Chad to be on first. I'd love to have her on here, but she promised Chad first, so I'm not going to try to make my way in beforehand.
Right. Well, and you've had Tanya on, but she's always a good guest. She could come back on.
Yep, I've had Tanya, I've had Margaret, I've had Angie, I've had I'm looking for new people. I mean, I gotta reach out to somebody for Wednesday though. I know who I want to reach out to. I meant to do it this weekend, but they just got home from a trip.
Wow. Yeah. Damn it, Dwayne, get your mic together. I'm trying, guys. This is my first try in days.
Hey, he said
So, did Crazy Card failed the interview? What, you wouldn't let him on?
oh no, I said that I wanted a certain criteria to like, figure out. Not that I didn't trust him or anything, but like somebody I've known for a while that I trust and stuff like that. So I didn't necessarily have what happened with Chad or other people where they like somebody used me as a stepping stone. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And not that I don't think that Mike would do that, but there was just, especially when I first asked a while back, the bunch that came up asking most of the time were people that I didn't even hear from. Like, I didn't know they had a YouTube channel. I didn't know this. And it's like, yeah, you expect me to have you on my show and I don't know you? Like I told you, and
the
my
best
chat
way
has
to know them.
What was that?
I said, that's the best way to get to know them.
Yeah, we got to have some sort of chemistry beforehand. Like
Yeah, no, I got you. And I will, by Wednesday, hopefully I'll have my mic thing figured out because I had a computer crash. So I'm actually using my wife's laptop. So that's probably why I have so much trouble with feedback and stuff. So I'll have it fixed by then. I would plug in headphones, but her earphone jack doesn't work. So if I plugged it in, I wouldn't be able to hear either. So, but I will get it figured out. I'll help. Sorry, Chris.
And Cherry Richard said, okay, check it out on Chad's show first and see if I'm too controversial.
Well, everybody can be controversial. I mean, so what I was worried about is that you'd start losing listeners if I came on, but we'll see.
Well, I know what she's talking about because whenever you watch some of Chad's shows when she's in there, her and Chad will butt heads in a loving, debating way.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, and that's actually entertaining because they both are very opinionated and they both have good points, and they shake hands at the end. It's not like I'm not talking to you ever again, you dirty word, so.
And they're still saying it's echoing. I don't know. So I didn't have an echo before we started the show. That's what happens sometimes too.
Right. So, yeah, good debates are always good.
What was that?
I said good debates are always good.
Yep. And Terry mentioned, just so you know, Dwayne doesn't have any videos yet. It's just that he's been watching my show since I basically started, and I've gotten to know him in that way. So I'm also in a way pushing him to do some videos. That's why I figured if he's gonna put his face out here on a live show every week, it might give him another motivation to do an actual video about a haul or a sale that he has an issue with. That way, everybody can.
Hey, speaking of that, it's been a long time since I've seen a Cherry Vintage video. If I remember right, it's been a while. I think she said she was going to do them again, but she just hadn't got back into it. What's up with that?
Well, she said she had she did have had medical issues, so that's part of the reason why she's waiting to be on Chad's show. It's not right now.
Oh, okay. Well, geez, if you have that, if you have a good excuse, that's no fun.
But everybody likes to watch Cherry's videos. So, and like I said, I said, Chad, I want to be the next one on your list of visiting. I think that's another thing that people can say about my shows more often than not. I bring people on that are not necessarily known by the whole YouTube community yet.
Well, and like you said, it's hard. If you hear from the same 15 people all the time, then you get the same info. If you hear from the fringe once in a while, and maybe some of the different points come up. Well, I hope you feel better, Cherry. I didn't know that you were having medical issues. So
like Dwayne said, if you're interested in being on our show, now see, I called it our show on Wednesday night. Because that's just like I did with Rebecca. I want my co-host to feel like they're part of the show. Like you said, people that you're going to reach out to from certain other groups that might be interested in being on that not everybody will know about.
Sure. Yeah. It's good to bring in everybody a little, like I said, everybody has something to offer.
So I know who I'm going to reach out for this week just to see if I get lucky and have them have the time for Wednesday night. So
I know somebody I know somebody I'm going to have to see if I can't get a hold of and get him on the show. But I'm going to leave it quiet now until I can get him some lined up. But we'll figure it out. I think I can talk him into it.
Well, we'll see. Well, we're getting close to the hour. Hopefully, we entertained Trixie enough so she realizes that not all videos are yes with no meaning to them. And if you do have any more questions, please get them in so we can try to answer them.
Yeah. Any questions at all?
Yeah, I know when I did ask you, you were kind of shocked that I asked you to get on to Wednesday night. You're like, because the fact that you said, why me?
Right. Yeah. Well, it was. I mean,
no.
Yeah, because I thought you had your thing going, and I wasn't sure. Like I said, I was kind of like, why? What? But I'll put forth anything I can offer. That's for sure.
Well, Trixie responded saying that she's good with the live format and will do it in again.
Well, great. Hey, maybe instead of tuning in the chat, you could come on.
Well, let's don't rush her. She's just a newbie.
Well, you never know. I mean, she may be a movie star, and come on and teach us all everything. That'd be great.
Tanya's got to go, so it's right on her showtime now.
She's got to go watch her naked show. Way to go, Tanya.
And Berta said thanks to me for helping with the pattern. Well, I'm glad you made some money there, Berta.
So. No other questions?
No. Hey, Berta, you said you sold the $61 pattern on Wednesday night. I know somebody's mentioned it, and I didn't read it off, and I meant to.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading. Oh, Swamp Picker asked me how many garage sales did I go to this weekend. I actually didn't go to any. I was lazy, and I liked it. First Saturday I slept in so long, it was nice to just not even worry about it. So I didn't get out there and hustle this weekend at all. It was a relaxing weekend, and I think I needed it. So, but we'll get back out there.
Well, this weekend I did mostly help with the house cleaning or tried to anyway, because we got company coming in a month, so we got to start at least.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you do have is it in-laws coming?
Yep, they're coming from Florida, so with stuff. So that's the fact that we got to figure out how we're going to organize whatever they bring in. We got to keep our house and the business going at the same time. So, and Berta is the one that sold her a $61 pattern after watching the show.
Awesome. That's great.
So I'm glad that somebody took some of what I've passed on, and I will have a second episode, not necessarily second episode, but another episode on patterns with a more experienced seller in the future. I am hoping. That's the person I want to reach out to for this week.
Sure, that'd be great. That'd be great, because I learned quite a bit from your show. And like you said, when you first did the show, you were like, I am by no means an expert. I'm just doing it myself. So, but I learned quite a bit from that. So yeah, I'd be interested in hearing somebody that's a little more, more into the patterns and such.
Bertold said it was a very easy look American designer, original Diane von Furstenberg, uncut, size 12. Okay, wait, Uko asked a question.
Okay, go ahead.
He said, let us talk about traffic. Does eBay favor certain resellers to others? I don't think they necessarily favor other resellers. They favor the people that put the work into their stores, whether it be listing, putting on things on sale, or promoting their stores in some way. They're always doing something from their stores.
I agree. I mean, they make money when we make money. So the more somebody that sells and lists and advertises and does great customer service and everything like that a good seller, that's the people that are going to do it. And the only way they really can do that is by setting forth some things that they look for. If you're constantly listing, if you're offering free shipping or sales or whatever, they move you up in the view, in the ratings or in the whatever I'm trying to say. You know what I'm talking about. But so that's really the only way they can promote you is to make you higher in the list. So and do those things that other people, to get those bonus points too, so to speak. So, in fact, Scavenger Life.
Terry Mitchell said they favor you in terms of having your listing show higher and best match, etc. eBay reps will tell you that.
Right. Search results. Thank you. Gosh, I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but in fact, Scavenger Life had an episode here not too long ago where they got a hold of an eBay representative that talked to them about things that they could do to get higher on the search results. And so, not to toot their horn, but if you go over there, they have a list of I think that they have it on their website, which is I think it's scavengerlife.com, but and that was from eBay, things that you can do to get higher up on their search listings, like the good till cancel. They don't really care for those too much because they can get stale, but and that's just things you can do to get higher on the search results. Green fog.
Berta made a comment about her purchase. She said she purchased the bag she got it for $1.50, but it was supposed to be a $3 bag of stuff, patterns. So she definitely made her money back. So now any pattern she sells for $1 is profit in my eyes.
So she bought it for $1.50 and sold it for $61.
Well, she bought a bag of patterns for $1.50.
Oh, bag. So not just one, huh? That's great. So that's the way to do it. Return on investment. The way I figure is if I can get 5 times my money on eBay, or 3 times my money on Amazon, those are my kind of guidelines. That's what I try and shoot for. So if I buy something for $5, I want to be able to sell it for, after fees, $25. So I'll sell it for about 30. And that's just the way I do it. I just like to keep five times or better, of course. Of course, you'll find some that are home runs that are 100 times, and then, I'll buy some things that don't work out, and I have to drop the price till I only make 3 times. But if you really think about it, 3 times your money, that's a 300 or 200% profit, right? How many companies can say that they make a 200% profit on a regular basis? Not very many. So, those are great numbers, I think.
I'm gonna respond to Carrie, but another thing I want to post on the other topic I just remembered is be careful when you have listings on another site.
What
Because
is it?
I changed the listing for a pattern for $2.95 on eBay. I was testing something. I had watches on my $4.99 patterns. I'm like, why are they watching $4.99? Why don't they just buy it? So I figured I had it when I was going to try for $2.95 plus shipping. I wasn't really worried about the money. It was a test. And it went over to Bonanza. And then when I finally got switched the price on eBay, I forgot to change it on Bonanza. Well, it sold on Saturday on Bonanza for $2.95. And I didn't realize. I was like, that's when almost. I didn't have my last sale on Bonanza in January. So I was like, wait a minute, where's this sale on eBay? On eBay, it was an unsold that I ended it that was no longer available. So I was like, wait a minute, I was getting ready to call eBay, and I'm like, wait a minute, I better check the Bonanza, and there's where the sale was. So, but so have you ever had that happen?
I've had a couple that I found later that were, let's see, that I had relisted that were still in my unsold folder, and I deleted them thinking that I had deleted them, and then I redid them, but I had never done it quite like you. Let me see if I can turn this down quite a bit more.
Yes, anyone had it, they couldn't hear me. Either I'm echoing or they can't hear me. Right. I'm trying to type something to Carrie for her last question.
And I've turned my volume down quite a bit so that I can just barely hear you at all. So maybe, like I said, it's probably my fault, and I will get that fixed before Wednesday, since I'll hopefully get my other computer up and running. Then I can use headphones and hopefully get rid of some of that echoing. So sorry, guys, I'm a rookie. Give me a little slack.
Well, that's why they're not blaming you; they're blaming me. So because it's always me to start hearing. So I don't know, but. I'm responding to Terry, and I'm going to say it when I'm done typing.
I know, Berta, it's not on mine, but what I'm thinking is that when he talks, you hear through my speakers. So I guess that's kind of mine. If I had a way to use headphones, that wouldn't happen, but I don't have that option right this minute. So
I was trying to Terry, and I'm going to read off what I said. Because she asked about the collection show. She said she was asking about Gladys, and if they showed the collection after she signed out. She showed me after she signed out during a private hangout on the side when she searched for certain things. So it's based on your individual eBay searches and what shows up if you search enough times for it to kind of be like a keyword. So then those questions will start showing up on the side. Because I couldn't find, when I typed in my own, after I signed out, I typed in certain things. I'm like, pattern. I was thinking like, to see if any of my things came up. And they weren't. She said, well, you haven't searched enough. I said, well, even when I do patterns and I'm listing them, I'm searching before I sell them. So how can I not be searching? I don't know.
Yeah. Cherry said to ask Dusty. I think there was him that found that there is a setting that the host has to change, not really having to do a speaker feedback. Huh. Can ask him.
I don't speak to Dusty anymore, so.
Well, I can ask him. Any other question, guys?
Let's see. I'm not seeing any other questions yet. And I guess
Again, I think we should congratulate Chris on 150 shows. That's 150 times it.
Sure, I have a couple, not 150 shows per se, but I had a couple of sold and haul videos in there at the beginning before I started shows. But still, you figure I didn't have, for like when I first started, for like 2 months, I didn't have a computer, so I didn't have shows then. Then I had other issues, so that's why I'm just surprised when I hit 150. I'm like, wait a minute, it's been that many since.
So I think that's a monument to everybody should notice that 150 times putting yourself out there. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll start 151 with you on Wednesday night.
Well, there you go. We'll start for the next 150.
Let's see. Congratulating me. If you like the video, even with all the hiccups on the echoes and stuff like that, please hit the like button. If you dislike it, so what? Let dislike it. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, you can dislike it and say, "Oh, that redheaded guy, man, he was just making echoes and whatever."
But I will definitely be back Wednesday night, and so with Wayne, and hopefully he will remember, so I don't have to call him.
All right.
Since he was the one that always was late to my shows originally, he was always the late person saying, "What did I miss?" Half hour after the show started. So.
Fueling for the Light says it only took you 150 videos to get her to finally watch someone's video. So good job, Chris. You got a new, you brought another into the fold. So, yeah, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, like I said, I can't do the headset thing. The headset I have now that had the spike mic on it, it's not, the mic doesn't work anymore. So, so I'd have to go buy a whole new headset for that. So, all right, everybody, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and got some good value out of it. And we will see you Wednesday night.
Enjoy.